Wonderful. Well, once again, a massive good evening, especially to everyone who is joining us live. And of course, anyone who is watching back on replay, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, whenever it is, and wherever you are in the world, a happy new year. Let's start with a happy new year. So the reason that I've brought us all together tonight is the power of goal setting. So with it being, especially, it's such a powerful thing, isn't it? With it being 2020, but not only is it the start of a new decade, but it's also what so many people see as a great opportunity to draw a line in the sand and actually begin to take the steps forward that you want in your life. And that involves becoming the person who achieves those soul goals, which we're going to be going into. Just before I do continue, I've seen a line being drawn on the screen. If anyone, this is only the people that are on live, if anyone sees an option to draw or anything like that, please don't press it. Reason being is it actually stays on my slides. So and we've had all sorts, like, I know it's happened before, Trace. So yeah, if anyone does, if that's yourself, if it's an accident, just sit back. You've got your pad and pen, grab a drink, but please don't draw on the slides because it actually stays on and interferes with everything. So thank you. Little housekeeping. So what we are going to be doing is a 2020 soul goal setting and also looking at the 21-day mindset and manifestation challenge. Because there's one thing goal setting, and I said this in a post earlier, and so many people see goal setting as choosing a goal, maybe something that you've wanted to do for however long, tends to be this time of year, weight related, finances, those kinds of things, well-being overall. And then they set a date, and then bam, it is action. But there is so much more digging that we want to do before we just go and choose a goal. And the reason being is every time you go to do something or achieve something, your mind is going to be looking back through all of the past experiences, and it's going to be questioning you along the way. So we want to be so prepared if you've got any particular limiting beliefs, any roadblocks which might get in the way, any fears or limitations. But also we want to make sure that that goal is yours. We want to make sure that it's aligned with that internal guidance system, not just what the neighbor or someone has said sounds cool. Does that make sense? We want it to be really unique to you. So what we're going to start by doing is reflecting on the year gone by. Then we're going to be looking at what is a soul goal setting, like what is soul goal setting. Then discovering your 2020 soul goals, action steps and accountability, and then the 21-day challenge prep. If you have any questions or anything before we continue, please do drop it in the comment section. I will, of course, be answering the questions. If they are really particular ones and I can answer them quite quickly, I will answer them as we go through. So don't worry about asking questions, or definitely keep it interactive as we go. If it's a big particular one, I've also got a pen and paper at the ready. I will write it down and answer it at the end. Just going to double check. Okay, so what we're going to be doing now is, someone's just said, can you send me the link? But unfortunately, I can't send links when we've already started. So what we're going to be looking at first is a 2019 reflection. So I want you to make sure that you've got that pad and paper at the ready and begin to write these questions down. So the way that we're going to be doing it this evening is you can either, if you are like quick and on it and feeling in flow, write the questions out and answer them as we go through them. If you want to take your time on this, screenshot or write down the questions, and when it's finished, come back to it and answer them. You might want to go and make yourself a brew after this webinar and really sit down and be like, man, like, what was your highlight? That's actually meant to say of 2019. What was your highlight of 2019? Nope, Sandra, do not worry. We have just started. This is the first one. So the first question is, what was your highlight of 2019? Yes, it should be 2019. Do you know how many times I've written 2020 these last few weeks? So what was your highlight of 2019? Not the last 5 days. So what was your highlight of 2020? Of 2019? So definitely write them down. If you want to share it, then feel free to share. Keep it interactive. You're more than welcome. And then I want you to begin to think, because as you're scanning your mind, thinking back to what the highlight of 2019 was, begin to think what special memories come to your mind. What special memories come to your mind? Did you go somewhere or travel somewhere? Or maybe there was a special event. Maybe you achieved something. Maybe you stood up for yourself. Like, these memories are so unique to you, but I want you to start to think, what special memories come to mind? The beautiful thing about doing this is really fantastic brain chemicals will be released. You're going to be getting oxytocin, serotonin, all being released as you're scanning back through. So mine was definitely getting my amazing animal room finished. Love that. Amanda, my highlight was definitely going to France on my motorbike on holiday and only passing my tests a few months. That's amazing. So begin to write down as many as you can. And remember, you can always come back to this. Now, this is a powerful one. Who had a positive impact on you? Who had a positive impact on you? Have a little think if just one person comes to mind, but then also start to think, who else? Was it someone in the workplace? Was it a particular friend? It could be someone online. Oh, bless you. That's so lovely of you. It might be a coach which you've worked with. It might be someone that you've met online. It could be anyone. But really begin to think, who had a positive impact on you? So I'm hoping that you're writing these down, or at least thinking and scanning through if you're going to be coming back to them. And the reason that I've asked you this question is, whoever has come to your mind, they're your tribe. That's the kind of person that you want to be surrounding yourself with in 2020. You want to be socializing. You want to be interacting with people that had a positive impact on you. What made you feel proud? Now, this might be, again, this could be a special event. It could be something that you've done, but what in 2019 made you feel proud? I would love nothing more than to know what's going through everyone's mind right now. This is why I love what I do, is when it comes to the coaching, when you really begin to dig deep and look at what made you feel proud. How often do we actually stop and recognize this stuff? Just not often enough. Whereas I can guarantee you're going to sleep so much better tonight. Your mind and your body is going to be full of really positive endorphins from revisiting these past events. So passing my mental health first aid and suicide prevention training. Wow, Lisa, that's just incredible. Going on the London Eye. I released my first song in 2019. This made me so proud. That's amazing. I love this. We've also got achieving walking 500 miles, driving on the motorway from Christine. Yes, you did it, didn't you? Turning in my final postgrad nursing assignment and achieving high marks, living well on less, becoming a minimalist. Sarah, that's fantastic. I've managed to come off low mood tablets from the doctors for my first time in 3 years. And I'm so good. It feels good not to be on anything. Ryan, again, just fantastic. Being voted president of my WI. Wow. Keep going, guys. Keep sharing these. I'm not going to read them all, but we've got 20, nearly 30 of us on here. Everyone share what you've done that's made you feel proud. Be brave, be courageous, and share. Then it's cool, isn't it, Sarah? Then we're going to start to think, what has been your biggest lesson? So reflecting back over 2019, I want you to start to think, what has been your biggest lesson? And when I say lesson, sometimes lessons come wrapped up in a poop-shaped bow because at the time, it can feel like it's the challenges, it's the tough times, it's the things that we have to face head on that we really don't want to. That is where we tend to get our greatest lessons. So it might be, it could be anything. It might be in a relationship, but career-wise, it might be if you've been going through a spiritual awakening. I know lots of you that I've connected with over the last year are on the path of an awakening or have been really delving into personal development, and you might take a lesson from that. But start to have a think, what has been your biggest lesson? And again, remember, you can always come back to this. Lisa, letting go of worrying about other people's opinions, being authentically me. Lisa, it's just so powerful when we can really drop the guard down of caring what other people think, worrying about it, patience, being okay with no, and letting go of things that are not life-giving. Can we see how fantastic these are? So your biggest growths tend to come from your biggest lessons. Sorry, guys. And the last question here. What are you excited to leave behind? Now, again, sometimes through those lessons, you might have realizations where it's like, you know what? This is really painful, or this has not been serving me. And we can really come from a tunnel vision, negative point of view. If we flip that and change the perception around it, whatever it is, and actually think, hang on a minute, you can get excited about leaving whatever it is for you behind. It might be you're leaving behind giving people your time that are energy drainers, energy vampires, whatever it is you want to call them. It might be the fear of judgment. You're excited to leave behind. You might have had a tough time in work, like whatever it is. Start to have a think and acknowledge, what are you excited to leave behind? Ryan, I'm excited to leave behind negative thoughts. This is a proper warrior talk. And become a glass half full kind of person. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful to hear. And do you know what, Ryan? Of all the things that can be the biggest life changer is when we're committing to switching the thoughts and changing the perspective. That's exactly what you've just said. So that's really cool. Being a people pleaser, coming through grief. So that's been, I'm guessing, the biggest lesson, and putting it in the past and healing, giving. So Sarah's giving herself that permission to go through the grief, put it in the past and heal. Sue, the fear of what next. Powerful one. Keep them coming, guys. And like I said, if I don't read them all out, it's good because you guys can keep interacting and reading those and getting inspiration, some real cool inspiration coming through. Okay, so that was the 2019 reflection. And yes, I'm hoping that you've written these down, but keep revisiting them. If you were to keep sort of, especially throughout January, sort of revisiting and just thinking like, who is it that actually had or has a positive impact on me? What does make me feel proud? These are really, really, really powerful questions to pause and ask yourself on a regular basis. Yes, Emily's on. Fantastic. Fabulous. So we're going to be now looking at what is a soul goal. So you've no doubt heard me chattering away about this soul goal. And the reason that I've called it a soul goal or soul goals, depending on how many you want to do, is it isn't just I'm going to pluck a goal out of thin air and go after it. And if I'm honest, we hear the bloody word goal so often, and which is fantastic. But if anyone has ever gone through experiences in the past where you've set goals and then maybe not achieved them, your mind will already have a negative connotation like attached to the word goal. Does that make sense? You'll almost be like, oh, I've set a goal, but that bloody word but tends to get stuck to the end of it. And what I found is when we actually come from a place of setting a soul goal, it's like, oh, okay, we're going deeper. We're actually going beyond the thing of what does society think I should set, or what do my parents think I should be achieving? What does my spouse or what are my work colleagues doing? And this is about aligning your goals to your values, your vision, and your soul. Okay, now this sounds really out there, I totally get it. But if we think about it, your values, what you value most in life, we're not going to be going into those now. That's definitely something which we do in the Warrior Academy and when I'm working one-to-one with people. But knowing what your values are, they are your internal guidance system. So if you value security and you then know that all the different areas of your life, you can begin to align and check in to make sure that you're ticking your boxes, basically, of that security. The trouble is, a lot of people don't always align their goals or life in general to their values. And for instance, they have a value of security, yet they are working part-time. They are, say, for instance, renting, they keep going on holidays, and actually the security is up in the air. They will not recognize it, but they will feel internal conflict. They will feel anxiety. They will feel that something is amiss. And so much of it comes down to checking in with your current life or that goal. We're really specifically looking at the goal here. And is it aligned to your values? Is it aligned to that internal guidance system of who you are? That's kind of step number one of the soul goal. The next is your vision. Your vision. This is the key. It's you, not somebody else's. And soul, feeling the goal, okay? So how many people here, just drop a Y or a yes in the comments, has ever set a goal to be a certain weight or lose a certain weight or do something that involves weight loss? I'm going to put two hands, and if I could still lift my feet up, I would also be doing that. And who here has set that and then within weeks or maybe a month or two slipped off, and then you've gone, great. And then we've gone the complete opposite end of the scale, self-sabotage, knew I wouldn't end up doing it. The negative self-talk comes up, bam, 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 bam. Like, I can guarantee that that goal will not have been aligned to a soul goal. It wouldn't have been aligned to your values somewhere along the way. Did you have a clear vision? Could you see yourself as the person which you were striving to go towards? Did you take any time at all? I know I certainly never used to. Did you take time to envision that person? And was it truly what the soul desired for you? Look at all these yeses. Such a common one, guys. So that isn't to say that we can't set weight management goals or health goals or anything like that. It's just a really common one. I often use this one as an example because it resonates with a lot of people. But start to have a think now. Like, whether it was joining a club like Weight Watchers, Slimming World, or whatever else, you might have had loads of motivation in the beginning, but actually, did it really align to your values? Did you have that clear vision? Was it something that your soul desired? And then you can start to think, oh, actually, what goals in the past did and what goals in the past didn't. So I'm going to share now what the soul, I can never bloody remember the word. Nathan would be laughing his head off if he's on this right now. The S.O.U.L, alliteration. It's an alliteration, isn't it, guys? And when it comes to us on the next section, looking at what your goals are, we're going to always be cross-referencing them to this soul, or is it an acronym? Do let me know. I can never remember it. Always begins with an A, but he always rips into me because I can. Acronym, yes. Thank you. You know, when you always say the opposite and then you know that you laugh about it and you can't remember. Thank you. I love that. The funny thing is I couldn't even spell the acronym. So S, we're going to have a look at what soul is in that acronym. S is sensory. What do I mean by sensory? We've just been chatting about it. It means feel. So as soon as you started to think of that goal, the first thing that we want to do is check in. How do you want to feel? So this is a little bit like, I'm just going to stick to that typical example of the weight management. I want to feel sexy. I want to feel light. I want to feel energized. I want to feel confident. I want to be able to feel in control. I want to be able to, and use all the different senses. I want to be able to enjoy the taste of good quality food because that's what my body deserves. I want to be able to hear internally myself saying, I'm proud of you for today. I want to hear other people saying to me, you look really energized and confident, but like, what's happened? All the senses, the more senses that you can bring into this and get crystal clear on how you want to feel, that is what is going to be the driving force behind your goals. Now, stick with me. I discussed this the other day actually on one of the lives. So let's take, for instance, someone wanted to, I'm going to use the same example that I did the other day. Someone wants to become a footballer, right? And their goal is to become a professional footballer. If you have a son or a nephew or anything like that, you've no doubt heard them say it. I know I've coached lots of young boys, and the first thing they say is, I want to be a footballer. And the goal tends to be, they want the fame, they want the money, they want to play football, be able to get their knees dirty and all of that lot. But actually, if we were to really break it down, the ones that become the most successful, the ones that stick to it and have longevity, notice what we're saying here about the long game, those that go on to achieve that goal and are satisfied in life and happy and don't go down the drugs, the drinks and all of that lot, is how do they feel? They feel fulfilled. They feel satisfied. They feel maybe loyal. They might feel appreciated. They might feel important, strong. What underpins the title or the goal of being a footballer is all the feelings and emotions. Can I just get a big yes or a why if this is making sense? Yes. So again, we just use the weight management and then we use the career example. So rather than just going for the title, rather than just going for that overarching goal, we want to be focusing on how you're going to feel, because when you are on your way to achieving it, that's how you check in. Like if you're on your way to achieving a weight loss goal of 1/2 stone, the only thing that you've got to go off, if that is the focus of the goal, is every time you step on the scales, great, I've lost 2 pounds. Woo! But how does that make you feel when you see those numbers? That's the goal. That's what we want to be focusing on. It's the sensory of it. That's going to help you to stick to it and also help you to stay aligned with it. Wonderful. O is the objective. So what is the goal? This is a really, really simple one. Once you've got clear on how you want to feel, then actually think, what is the goal? Because I can guarantee that I'm going from past experience working with someone not too long ago. One of their goals was to lose weight. And they'd wanted to lose weight for like 12 years. And it had been a roller coaster, up and down, yo, 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 yo. And we went through, how do you want to feel? And it was, as I described before, confident, sexy, good in their own skin, energized, be able to walk and not get out of breath, and all these different things. When we actually got down to what the goal was, it's really funny. The goal actually wasn't weight loss. She thought that the goal was to squeeze back into those jeans from 10 years ago. Actually, turns out it was to start a new hobby. And it was to start a new hobby that made her feel confident, sexy, comfortable in her own skin, dancing. So the objective, the goal then became much simpler, and the end result would no doubt be from the dancing that I'm not going to disclose this kind of dancing, but your mind could go there. But actually the goal was never, hence the yo-yoing, hence where actually now, like 7-8 weeks later, the weight has dropped like never before. Confidence through the blinking roof. People asking, oh my God, like, what have you done? And rather than saying, well, I've lost 9 pounds or I've lost X amount of weight, it's, I've started a new hobby, met new people, feeling more confident. So can we see how actually the goal could change once we get really clear on how you want to feel, the sensory part of it? You is unique. And when I say unique, it hasn't got to be that you're going to start tapestry or bungee jumping or anything like that. This is making sure that your soul goal is unique to you. I can't tell you how many people that have set goals, gone on to try and achieve them, self-sabotage, and then years later, whether it's through coaching or a workshop, go, holy shit. The reason I've not been able to achieve this goal that I've been going after is it's not mine. It was my father's. Or the goal was my ex-husband's. Or the goal was my girlfriend's. Like she was really into weightlifting or like the bikini modeling. And actually these people's goals aren't theirs. They're expectations from other people, or their goals that they've clung on to and heard other people. So make sure you check in and make sure that it's your goal. It's unique to you. And lastly, L is light. And what I mean by light is, does your goal light you up? Are you excited to start tomorrow? So I'm sure you can imagine, I'm just going to use the weight management one again because it's so blinking common and it resonates with so many of us that said yes before. How many times do you think, yay, I can't wait to wake up tomorrow morning and have my porridge and go do a 5K, and then I'm just going to drink like 3 bowls of water and I'm going, it tends to happen for a few weeks or something, and then we dwindle off. If we go through this specific thing and really get to the bottom of what the actual goal is that's unique to you, you feel excited to get up. I promise you, you will feel lit up. People will recognize that, like, your energy is lighter, you're radiant. So that is the last thing, is that you're going to go all the way back to the beginning and actually ask yourself the question, does my goal light me up? Am I excited about this? Has it got longevity? Can I stay consistent doing this? Because if it lights you up, like the people keep saying to me, you're like 6 odd months pregnant. Like, how are you doing this? Lots of people said yesterday on a picture, like, how are you still standing all day? And why? Because what I do lights me up so much. Like it's ridiculous how much it lights me up from the inside. So I don't see it as work. I don't see it as a problem. It was a goal to say, do the workshop yesterday, and it aligned with the whole soul thing. So therefore there was no internal, there was no self-sabotage. There was no restrictions there. It was actually really simple to do because it was a soul goal. Like, I'm hoping that this is all making sense. So if you have any questions about that, I just wanted to sort of recap over that. I did mention it the other day, but we're now going to be looking at what are your soul goals for 2020. So what are your soul goals for 2020? A great thing to do is a guided visualization. So I don't know if you have ever done these before. I know lots of you that have worked with me or been to we even did one yesterday, the workshop. But a guided visualization or a meditation, let's say, is simply closing your eyes, bringing your focus and awareness to yourself, and simply opening your mind, and I say your heart, and letting your mind guide you. If you can write this down as well, if time and money was no object, like what would your mind allow you to bring into fruition? So I'm just going to share a little example here. So I used to do a lot of guided visualizations myself and meditations, like a couple a day. This was when I was really, really, really focused on awakening and aligning my life and myself to my true sort of path. It sounds really woo-woo, but it was a big part of my life. And I used to always envision being on this big American road. It was really, really bizarre. And rather than just saying, well, I'd never be able to go and travel, my husband's got a full-time job, or I'd go along the road and I'd try and picture like, well, what can I see? And it would be like an old American car. And then we'd zoom past this sign. I'd be like, what does the sign say? It said Route 66. Wow, okay. So then the next time I would visualize, I'd be like, okay, let's go and see what's on this Route 66. Why does my mind keep guiding me there? And that was a process of just following the mind, following the heart, being very open to it. And it turned out to be, I'm still in the process of writing it actually, but a book. It was I've created a program around it, Route 66, Your Highway to Happiness. And it was about it taking 66 days to form a new habit. And so much of this came through visualization that then ended up becoming a goal. But I didn't stop there. I'm only sharing this because I wanted to open your minds to how we don't have any limitations when it comes to this stuff. I then shared this vision nearly a year later with someone that then put me in touch with a film director, and we're now still in talks, and we're also looking at doing a warrior, it's crazy, Awaken the Warrior documentary. But we've got plans and different people, movie directors, script writers. I've had a meeting with a musical director about creating Route 66, Your Highway to Happiness. And that was where I used to see it going. That I used to just dream and just let the mind visualize. And I wanted to share it. I wasn't actually planning on, but I wanted to share that with you because the power of visualization and meditation it's indescribable, because there are no limitations in the mind, only the ones you perceive. Okay. If you put a glass ceiling around it, and your mind can't get past that glass ceiling to what's available to you, what your goals are, you will never see past that. Therefore, you will never go on to achieve anything bigger than what you can see. Hoping that this is making sense. So, Gemma, I seem to struggle with things like this. Even watched The Secret again this morning. Yes, because I know it works. So, if I was to try and just briefly answer Gemma's question here, is how it works is everything that we see in our mind is in picture. It's in color. It's in, well, for most people, some people actually do see in black and white, but most people see in color and in a movie. All our memories, our past beliefs, everything is created in, like, say, a mind movie. The more that you allow your mind to have white space, as I call it, and just be free, almost just allow yourself to daydream, the more that's going to come to you. But also the mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what isn't. Logically, to us, we're like, of course the brain knows what's real and what isn't. Like, surely it does. It doesn't. Neurologically, it doesn't. Because if you're visualizing, you are using images. And so, Jem, if I was to say to you, with your eyes open consciously, begin to imagine what you had for your dinner today. So this is everyone. Okay, so Sue as well. Begin to imagine what you ate for your dinner today. And I want you to see through your own eyes your plate in front of you. You might take a moment to remember what you ate for your dinner. And then you could do this with your eyes open or eyes closed. Begin to bring more color into it. Begin to see it if you can. See if you can taste it. But what you will notice is you can recall or create an image in your mind. You can do the exact same thing with your eyes closed and let the mind open. And let's be honest, that is pretty much visualization. Like that, like there is no defo taste. I had 2 helpings. Yes, that's my girl. So it's so powerful because every time you do vision a goal or a vision or whatever it is you want to call it, neural connections spark in the brain. And the more that we do it, it becomes fixed. And it's the same with our positive and negative thinking. So if I was to just use the example of the Route 66, I'm moving my office around, so I've not actually got them up. So on my vision board from last year, I had probably 3 things on it that said Route 66. Someone bought me Get Your Kicks on Route 66 sign. I had that up in the office. I used to listen to the song Get Your Kicks on Route 66. And because I started to put it out there a little bit, speak to people, people would tag me in Route 66 things. I followed the hashtag Route 66. So my reticular activating system and my mind was so on fire for recognizing this Route 66 stuff that energetically, and I also took the action because I physically spoke to someone, it brought in an opportunity to then go and speak to a film director. Does that make sense? So that's how it kind of then comes into fruition from the visualization, etc. But we must first dare to let ourselves do it. So I'm not going to be guiding you through this tonight just because we've got so much to go through. We have got another couple of slides, but I am going to recommend that you really take some time, whether it's 5 minutes, half an hour, whatever it is. Get in touch with me. I can always send you a visualization of some kind, but even just play some music and just let your mind be free. See what you want to achieve in 2020. And then the next thing that I want you to do is write down what you saw and any goals that come to mind with no limitations. So whether you are going to do the visualization first, so Kath, I know you've just said, I wish I could visualize. So I'm going to say, if you don't want to do this, this doesn't resonate with you, skip it. Literally, skip that part. You haven't got to do it. There's no rules, no right or wrong rules. So if you want to go straight to that second question, write down any goals that come to your mind logically whilst you're consciously awake with no limitations. Okay, so write down any goals that come to mind with no limitations. And I'm going to recommend, if you did this yesterday, obviously you've already got a lot of this already done, if not all of it. If this is new for you, begin to write them down now, or like we said, come back to it. And then the next question to ask yourself, what do you want to have achieved in 2020? So it's a very similar question as what goals came to your mind and what goals do you want to achieve. But actually thinking about what do you want to have achieved in 2020? This question resonates with people slightly differently. So what do you want to have achieved? Is it you want to have run a 5K? Is it that you want to have found a certain relationship? Is it that you want to grow a business or start a side hustle or a project or start a new hobby? Just reading Gemma's comment. Yes, totally makes sense. Lost my connection. Yeah, yep. So once you started to think, what do you want to have achieved in 2020? This is where we're starting to narrow those goals down. The next question to ask yourself is, does it align, or do they, whatever came up for you, align with the soul process? So if someone has a goal, share it. And then I'll use that as an example if you do not mind. I am going to use it as an example if anyone wants to share one. If not, I'll make one up. Because to become a shaman, okay, or shaman. So the first thing that I would say is, let's just use that one, is, okay, so that's something that's come to you. Then if we were to go back, does this, like, I want you to begin to imagine how that would feel. So again, you can do this consciously awake, or you can close your eyes. This is what they call a meditation or visualization. All it is taking your mind on a little journey. How would that feel? What would you hear? What would you say to yourself? What could you taste? What could you touch? Then checking in. The goal is shaman. Is it unique to you, or is it someone else's goal? Have you overheard it from somewhere? Does it light you up? Does that get you excited at the thought of the process of it? If yes, fantastic, boom, you've got yourself a goal. I want to have a full draft of my fiction book. Grace, amazing. Go through the process. Does it align with that soul, your values, your vision? So sense it. What would that feel like to have that full draft? You've just imagined yourself saving it on your Word document if you're old school like me. And how would that feel? What would you be saying to yourself? What could you taste? Would you get yourself a little glass of fizz for doing it? Is it unique to you? Does it light you up? If yes, boom. Christine, connect with an old close friend. So especially if you're watching this back on replay, you can keep pausing this throughout as well. So you haven't got to watch it all the way through and then go back to the beginning. You can pause it as you go. Start to think, does it align with the soul process? Now, here is the key one. How do you want to feel having achieved your goal or goals, depending on how many you have? Definitely going to say we want to ideally focus on one, but if you do have others, write them down. How do you want to feel having achieved your goal? Is it more confident? Is it empowered? Is it excited? Is it calm, relaxed, grounded? And then what would it feel like ending 2020 having achieved them? What would it feel like ending 2020 having achieved them? And again, you can consciously do this with your eyes open. Begin to tune in. Imagine what that would feel like. So much of this is using your imagination. You use your imagination all freaking day. Whether that is imagining that the boss is going to give you grief on Monday about a document that didn't get sent. Whether it's imagining the worst case scenario if you were to be driving somewhere, or imagining that you're going to win the lottery at the weekend, or imagining that you're going to, like, we are constantly creating these things in our mind. Just because we call it visualization or meditation or imagine, there's no difference. I promise you, can drop the expectation and just keep tuning into that feeling and imagining and daydreaming. So Shona, amazing. My cup would be full. Wonderful. So we want to really focus on how it would feel. The next questions, again, you can screenshot this, write them down, whatever's right for you. I want you to start to think, what could stop you from achieving your goals? Now, this is where we're going to get a little bit serious, but we've got to do this. Like we just have to do this, because this is what is going to help you to break through any barriers that may come up over the next 12 months. Because you're going to recognize those potential potholes or barriers or limitations, whatever it might be. What could stop you from achieving your goals? Is it procrastination, lack of time, money? Like what could that be for you? I'm not planting these in your, I don't want to give you any more, but just start to think, like, from your goal, what could stop you? And if you've already done this, fantastic. You can just either sit back, have a brew, or revisit, because there might be actually, like, don't write the same things down as yesterday if you did this in the goal setting, because some of these are very similar, in particular on this one. Other one's a little bit different. This one's the same. Don't write down the same ones as yesterday, because if you've worked on it, or if you've already recognized it, see if there's any others that come up, or if there's any softer ones. If they are the same, obviously write them down. Self-doubt and imposter syndrome. Amanda, such a common one. Wow. Imposter syndrome. Who am I to be doing this? What if people think this? And self-doubt. Thank you so much for sharing that. Gemma, yep. Emily, childcare. Such a true one. Because imagine if Emily hadn't have recognized this, set the goal, paid X amount to go on a course or book travel, and then all of a sudden it's like, holy crap, childcare. Or what a lot of people do is set the goal, go, actually, I'm never going to sort this with childcare, forget it. And they quit before they even start. So the next one is, what is your biggest fear around going after your goals? What's your biggest fear around going after your goals? And again, you can come back to this. Some that came up yesterday and that come up quite often is fear of failure, fear of success, fear of leaving people behind, the fear of having it and then losing it. Like, there's so many different things. Failure is a big one that comes up a lot. And then the next, there we go, failure judgment. The next one, what can you do to overcome your fears and obstacles? What can you do to overcome your fears and obstacles? And I want you to let the imagination stretch. If you're sat there now going, well, there's nothing I can do, it's just who I am, or I wish that there was something I can do, I've not got the time, then I hate to say it, it'll stay with you. Those fears, those limiting beliefs will stay with you until you decide that something can be done about it and you're willing to do something about it. All comes down to responsibility. And I'd also say accountability. But say, for instance, it could be, there might be a particular book that you've heard loads about overcoming fears. It might be connecting with like-minded people that have been through something similar and asking for advice. It might be getting professional support, coach, mentor, counselor, like whatever that is that fits the bill for you. It might be the community group and the warrior, Awaken the Warrior. It might be committing to the Warrior Academy, something like that. It might be writing them down and committing to a ritual. We practice positive self-talk. Yes. If you have your band, use the damn thing. If you're not using it every single day, I actually said to my dad before at the hospital, I was like, I need to give myself a bloody new one, because you can see, I use this still all the time, all these years later. Then this is the key one. What action steps will you take this month to start working towards your soul goals? Layering up the positive habits. Please, where can we get our hands? So on the bands, where can I get the bands from? Okay, so I'll type it here carolandreed.com. Don't go on it now, but you've got it for after. I sell them through the website. So if you go onto the Awaken the Warrior CBT band, it's on there. I am going to be sharing with you shortly about the 21-day challenge. If anyone joins the 21-day challenge, then you actually get a band as a part of it because it's a part of the tool in it. So I'd say hang fire, because you might be like, you order it and then you're going to get one anyway. Or if not, I'd definitely recommend ordering one. I want more colours, please, Jem. I'm totally working on it. I promise you. It's killing me. But the good thing is that it's reversible. So you can have it, different colours. But yeah, working on it. So what action steps will you take this month to start working towards your soul goals? So now you've got more clarity around what your goals are. You've recognized the potential roadblocks. You've now started to think, what can you do to overcome your fears? Some people really shared some cool ideas there as well. And then what action steps are you committing to? And I want you to write down three things that you're going to commit to doing this month. So Lisa, trust in yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. I love that. Stay laser focused and adapted and face challenges with determination. Yes. Love, love, love. That's it. When you have a challenge, face it freaking head on. Don't put it off. We don't play victim. We don't look for blame. We don't shame ourselves, shame anyone else. We don't share it. We focus, we move forward. Such warrior talk, Lisa. I love it. It is though, it's bloody true. So start to write down the three things that you're committing to doing this month. If anyone wants to share with the group, you are more than welcome. If you want to keep it to yourself or revisit this, tap into more moon rituals to let go of the baggage. Absolutely. Some people will go very much logical. Some people will go very much more spiritual connection, that kind of thing. So what we're now going to do, yes, keep sharing, guys. What are the things that you're committing to doing? And when I say committing, this means non-negotiable. Like, there's so many people that say, I'm going to try to do this, or I'm hopefully going to do that. One of the biggest shifts for me personally, I'm sharing this from a personal point of view, is I started to say to myself, okay, I'm going to do this. And all I would do is say, and it's a non-negotiable. Like, they're just words. But for some reason, saying it's a non-negotiable, my brain just goes, okay, she's doing it then. Like, there's no point even trying to put her off track with self-sabotage, procrastination, anything else. There's just no point because it's a non-negotiable. So she'll just end up doing it. Like, my mind would just see it as, okay, black and white, done. And I kind of trained it to do that. Now, if I say to Carl, I've got to get this done by Sunday evening, and it's a non-negotiable, it'll go, right, okay. And he does the same thing because I take it seriously and I've committed to it. So if you can have that level of commitment to yourself, this year will become unrecognizable. And notice what I said about that. It's just language. It's just self-talk. That's it. That's one of the things I embedded with the band. It's a non-negotiable. If I think anything otherwise, I'll stop and replace it. Don't overcomplicate it. Just freaking do it. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to share a bit of information now about the 21-day mindset and manifestation challenge. The reason that I've created this is there's one thing setting your goals and having the vision there, having the action steps, but you have to have that mental strength. You have to have the commitment to go after it. And one of the things that I personally over the years have found that really supports people, including myself, many people I've worked with, in achieving their goals is having a solid habit base behind it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be attached to the particular goal. You'll see where I'm going with this. It hasn't got to be, okay, so my goal is to start running 5Ks or 3Ks, let's be honest. So I'm going to do it 3 times a week. So you'd expect me to say we need the 21-day habit of going walking, drinking, eating lots of greens. No, We're going to start with the mindset first thing. We want to make sure that you are waking up feeling aligned, feeling energized, that your mindset is bang on, your vibration is up, and you're on the wavelength of that manifestation, that you're feeling good. You're so more likely to take action on your own personal goals when you feel good. Okay, so this is where the 21-day challenge comes in. So why join the 21-day challenge? Well, it's a daily ritual. I'm going to share with you a daily ritual. It's very short, it's very compact, to increase your confidence, self-belief, and manifestation ability. Now, I can guarantee if you were to wake up not feeling confident, have that negative, I nearly swore then, have that negative self-talk, well, you won't do it. You won't. Are you going to be on the right wavelength for manifesting? No. Are you going to have the motivation and drive to go and do whatever it is that's going to support your goal? For a little bit, yeah, then in the end, no. So we need to work on that mindset first thing. You will also have a greater ability to focus and overcome procrastination. I practice this. I have been through the 21 days myself twice, actually, because I tweaked it. I will always go through the processes myself before I recommend anything to everyone. It's just something I always do. And my focus goes through the roof. And it's the same with any of the challenges which we do. You just have greater focus, less procrastination, because you know what you're doing. Decreased stress and anxiety, replaced by the ability to approach situations calmly and clearly. So again, it's just that nice, clear mindset. It's also going to help you to replace old dysfunctional emotional patterns with new empowering ones. I'm going to come on to this more because we're actually going to be going through, it's a guided meditation that I'm going to be sharing with you within the 21 days. So that begins to replace those old patterns. You'll also have a heightened sense of self-awareness and purpose. We're going to be using the bands, so your self-awareness goes through the freaking roof. And 21 days of coaching, guidance, and support from myself. So I touch base every single day on this challenge. Let's go into it. So I'm literally just going to be another 5 minutes, guys. So I promise it'll be worth sticking around because I'm going to share more about it at the end if anyone is interested. So what it's actually consisted of is 21 minutes for 21 days. Now, before we do go into it, I want to say, neurologically, it takes 21 days to form a pattern within the brain. What do I mean by a pattern? For us to form a solid new habit, it takes actually an average of 66 days. But within 21, we can begin to form the basis of that neurological pattern. Therefore, if you were to carry on after, the likelihood of it just becoming a part of who you are, just like, say, for instance, myself, meditation is just something I don't even have to think about. I just do it. Gratitudes, don't think about it, just do it. The changing perception, seeing the silver lining on things, practice, just do it. And that is through repetition. That is through these simple little techniques. So you're going to be doing a 21-minute little ritual for the 21 days. No worries, Chris. Bye. And what that consists of is a PDF printable workbook. So I'm going to be sending to you it's actually just going to be 2 pages, and one of the pages you can print for 21 days worth. Or if you're a little bit like, I know lots of people are doing this now, you want to start to save paper, I'm actually going to recommend that you just get a notebook or a diary and you write it out every single day. Completely your call, but you will get a PDF printable workbook. And what you're going to be doing for those 21 minutes is this. You're going to be listening to a 10-minute powerful guided visualization meditation. It's something I've personally recorded myself. And that is going to be taking you through envisioning your soul goals, envisioning yourself and feeling, key here, those goals being done. We're going to raise your vibration. We're going to raise your focus. Your reticular activating system is going to be on fire because you've just spent 10 minutes seeing, feeling, and being that person that is achieving their goal or has achieved their goal. So it's an NLP visualization meditation. You're also going to get 21 days of affirmations. So what you're going to be doing is every single day physically writing out the affirmation of the day. So if it's day number 1, you write out the number 1 affirmation. If it's day number 2, you write out number 2's affirmation. And that is the one that you're going to be thinking of throughout the day. But the key thing is writing it down. The next thing that you're going to be doing as part of the ritual is listing the 5 things that you're grateful for. And you're going to be anchoring them into the warrior band. Now, I'm not going to share with you exactly how we're doing this, but I will share with you within the Warrior Academy because that's a whole separate video. But we're not only going to be using the band for the 21 days, but we're also going to be anchoring in the gratitude. It's so powerful. I swear, I'm so excited. Then you're also going to set your 3 daily intentions. Now this, I've timed it solidly. I promise it takes no longer than 21 minutes. Most days it's about 18 minutes up to 21. But then you're going to set your 3 daily intentions. How you want to feel, what you're going to release, and what you're going to give. That might be love. It might be more time. It might be your attention. It might be your focus. So you're simply just going to write down 3 intentions. How you're going to feel, release, give. And lastly, you can do this within the 21 minutes. I promise it all fits. Or you can do it on the go if you've only got, say, 15 minutes in the morning. You're going to listen to the 21 days affirmation recording. So not only are you going to write it out, but I've actually created a recording that you can listen to every single day that goes through every single affirmation. So they all, one by one, get really embedded in your mind. So you've got 21 powerful, affirming affirmations that you can begin to embed, and they will naturally, you can listen to them before you go to sleep. You can listen to them in your car, listen to them on a dog walk, like whenever it works for you. And they're 3 minutes. That's it. And then, like we said, the accountability as you wear and use your warrior band for 21 days consecutively. So that is simply recognizing any negative self-talk that comes in. We're going to snap the band and then replace it with that empowering self-talk. The cool thing is that you're going to have an affirmation of the day. So let's take the affirmation is one that I keep saying to myself, I'm a magnet for miracles. Doesn't sound as cool when I say it with a cold, but I'm a magnet for miracles. If you say, oh God, this has happened again. Oh my God, I hate this job. Oh, replace, use the daily affirmation. Like you've got that empowering self-talk right there. So, guys, just have a little look to see if you have muted yourself. I think there we are. Is it Jam? No. Someone has unmuted. So yes, just have a little look to see if that was you. Awesome. I think it's stopped now. So that is all it's going to be. When I say all it's going to be, I'm going to be also coming live or sending an email every single day throughout the 21 days. So you're going to have my full presence. You can ask any questions as well throughout them and also have the accountability there. So guys, if you could just double check if you have unmuted yourself by accident, because there's someone that has. Yes, so let's have a little look. So the Warrior Academy, I just want to share a little bit more about that for anyone that isn't yet in it but wants to join us for the 21-day challenge. What you also get is, so obviously you've just done the webinar, but you'll also get the 21-day guided meditation, as we were saying, to really begin to embed those visions into your subconscious mind and further imprint your soul goals and confidence so they run on autopilot. You'll also get the 21 days of affirmations, printable and recording, the private Facebook group, which is just awesome because you're really with those people that are committed, those that have taken that initiative to join, financially invest. Like you'll see, it's not a lot, but having that bit of skin in the game makes you so much more committed. It just does. It just does. You'll also have access to the support and resources in there. A daily email or Facebook Live with myself, lifetime access to the 2020 Vision Challenge material as well, plus all the bonuses of being a Warrior Academy member. So you'll also get access to your Teachable platform. You get the November, the December, all the different resources from there as well. So you've got lots to go through. Oh, Gemma, that's so cool to hear. No worries, darling. I'll see you very soon. Look forward to starting the challenge. So actually, it starts Wednesday. Very, very quickly. Before you leave, it starts on Wednesday. We're not starting it tomorrow. The reason being, I had a bit of a brainwave like this morning. I think it was about 5:45 in the morning. That those that are joining like tonight and tomorrow won't have their bands in time. So we're actually going to have a 2-day prep. Monday, Tuesday is all about a 2-day prep. We're starting Wednesday for 21 days. That pretty much takes us through to the end of the month. I just want to make sure that everyone has got their bands, the material, also for the Warrior Academy members to catch up on this webinar. So yeah, I suddenly woke up, I was like, we can't start tomorrow. So we're going to be starting on Wednesday the 8th. You can become a founding member for just £22 per month. If you join tonight to be part of the 21-day challenge, I'll also honour it for tomorrow as well. You'll enjoy all the benefits of becoming an Academy member like we shared before. All the founding members, oh amazing, love it, is that you also get a Warrior CBT band. So if you've already got one, epic, you get another. So like I think it was Gemma said, she got fake tan on it. You've always got another one there. You also get your affirmation mirror stickers, so you can stick them up anywhere, and a selection of Warrior grounding crystals. So you get 3 crystals as well. So it's £22, my darling. So Amanda, it's just 22 quid. It's a rolling one, so there's no contract. You're not like locked in for a year or whatever. So yeah, that is, I just want it to be really, really transparent. Those that know me know that I'm always like really sort of straight to the point as well. And I just think that personally, alongside your goals, committing to doing that thing that's going to raise your vibration first thing in the morning, get you in that state of, yes, I've seen it, I can feel it, I'm doing it, the accountability, like you can't go wrong. You're also going to overcome any limiting beliefs that you may have recognized. Thanks, Kath. So what I'm going to do, just because I'm like way too chilled about this stuff, is if you would like the link to join, message me. Just drop us a message after. I'm literally just going to be chilling downstairs after this. So if you've got any questions at all, drop me a message. But I literally have to close the doors tomorrow night because I need to get all the parcels posted by 5 p.m. tomorrow. So no worries, Soph. I'll see you very soon. So if you are going to be joining, please do make sure that you don't leave it till Tuesday because you won't have your band ready to start on Wednesday. So I will love you and leave you there just because I know it has gone. I did sort of say it was going to be a 90-minute one, and we're nearly there. So I just wanted to say a massive, oh bless you, a massive thank you so much for joining us tonight. Whether you come on and do the if you already become a member, or if you don't, I really, really hope that you've enjoyed setting your goal souls and that you've taken something really powerful from tonight, either way. There was a question there from Carol, I believe. If you are a member already, will the 21-day, it keeps going. I don't know what it says, but I'm thinking it's saying, will you get the 21-day program as part of it? If that's the question, yes. If you're already in the Warrior Academy, absolutely. This is just a part. This is the January bundle. Because yes, it will. It's going to take place in the membership site. So being the Facebook group. But obviously you'll get the access to all the teachable stuff. It will be in the member site. Yeah, absolutely. So do not worry. I will make sure that you get everything. Amazing. Is it live or recorded? I'll be going live in the group, but everything is always recorded. I always have everything recorded. So never worry about that. So yes, if there's any other questions, I'm going to finish here. Drop me a private message. If you're like, freaking hell yes, this is exactly what I need, let me know. We'll get you added into the group and we'll go from there. So cool to see you this evening, guys. Massive well done. Those that are already in the academy, can't wait to start on Wednesday. Let's freaking do this. Loads of love. See you soon. Bye, guys.